Hey friend, welcome to the Intentional Mind Podcast. I'm your host, Angie Barnard. Today in the show, we're talking about distractions and getting more clarity around the direction that you want to take your life so you can be more intentional with your energy. Now, the reason why I wanted to talk about these two concepts, which are totally related, is because, keeping it real, I've been struggling with getting clear on the direction I want to take my life. And that is actually really tough for me because that's a space that I have excelled at coaching other people in. Like, I've really helped a lot of people over the years get clear around what they want to do with their careers, what feels most in alignment to them, and I've helped them get really intentional with their energy. And lately, I've been feeling like I'm not being intentional with my energy and feeling like I'm lacking clarity around the direction I really want to go. Now, I created a vision for this year, and I'm so grateful I did. I have my vision board and everything, and I reflect back on it every single day, and I check in and see, like, am I being that person? And despite having that, I still feel like I wanted to get even more clear in specific categories. You know, like the one space for me was the career space that I'm feeling. And this is why lately I feel like God has been putting on my heart to really help people more with this area of their life. You know, I've been doing this for years, helping people in this space, but I feel like I've kind of drifted away recently so that I could focus on some other things like related to helping people with their speaking careers and talk writing and other stuff. But I've been feeling this tug to come back, and I'll tell you why, really keeping it real with you, is because this has been the biggest pain point in my life. It's been my career, where I have felt times where I felt unfulfilled, that I wasn't doing the things that were in alignment with my gifts and my values. And it was so dang painful. And then I would come and bring that energy to my family. And that hurts me even more to think that to show up and bring lower energy to your family because you're not feeling good in the work that you're doing every day. And you have this desire to do something that's more meaningful to you, that's more aligned with the lifestyle that you want to have. Like, it just hurts. And I have seen the transformation of what happens when I can help people with that area of their life, because it truly helps not just only them, you know, it helps their family. It's like this ripple effect. And I really, now that I have my son Zion, I really see that ripple effect, because I know if he sees a mom who is loving what she gets to do every day and really living in alignment with her values and really using the strengths that God has given her, like, that energy rubs off on him, and I want that for him too. I want him to have that kind of career and lifestyle. And so it's just like this domino effect. And if he sees me living life like that, then he's going to want to live life like that. And then his kids and so forth, right? Because I've also seen this with my clients, my career coaching clients over the years, where they have seen their parents not enjoy what they did for work every day and just, you know, check a box, just get by, you know, try to make it to retirement, have a decent like life, you know, and they're like running that program in a sense. Like, they want something different, but you can see like that there's some kind of program related to what they saw running in their minds, and then they don't believe that career where they could do the things that they really love and get paid well and have the lifestyle that they want to have is really possible for them. It was not modeled to them, you know? So I see the destruction of that. So long story short is, this is why I'm feeling this tug where I want to help more people in this space. So I've had to intentionally decide where to direct my energy, you know, because there's all these opportunities coming my way. And I would find myself taking on all these opportunities that really aren't in alignment with my vision. Because I just told you, like, the vision that I have, a little bit of it, and is to help more people with this category of their life so that they can have the lifestyle they want to have, so they can live in alignment with their values, so they can have a life that they're proud of, that they don't have regrets around, you know? So that's part of my vision. But what's happening is there's all these other opportunities and requests for my time that don't really necessarily align with my vision. The old me, what she was doing, she wasn't keeping her vision in front of her mind. Even though that's something I practice, I preach all the time. I feel like it was like I wasn't going back to my vision. So if an opportunity came my way, I'd be like, oh, cool. Like, this is a great opportunity to make me money and could be a good use of my time in that way. But it wasn't in alignment with my vision because I wasn't double checking and being like, oh, is this help me be who I really want to be? It's so this one thing to have a vision. It's a whole other thing to use that vision to help direct your life. And the other thing I wasn't doing that I'm not proud of, that's been really on my heart lately, is I wasn't going to God about it. Like, I'd have opportunities come my way and it would be like, okay, yeah, that would make me more money. That could, grow my finances for my family. It was like this scarcity thing that was showing up. And I would take on these opportunities that, again, weren't in alignment. But I wasn't like going to God and being like, hey, God, like, I'm praying about this. Like, is this a good use of my time and my energy? Is this the direction that you want me to go? So when it comes to clarity, if you feel like you're lacking that, I just want to ask you, like, have you gone to God about it? Like, have you asked around, like, what direction do you want me to go? How do you want me to use the gifts that you gave me? The other day I told my husband, I said, if God's not in it, I don't want it. I really want every opportunity to come my way, and I want to evaluate it and be like, hey, God, like, let's talk about this. Like, it's like you evaluating a business deal with the best of mentors, right? If you were trying to, like, accumulate these new businesses and you had like mentors who just like killed it in the field, right? You'd want to consult with them. You'd want to be like, hey, like, what do you think about this opportunity? Well, God made everything. So wouldn't it be cool? Like, doesn't it make sense to go to God and be like, hey, God, what do you think about this opportunity? And you know me really well. Do you think this is in alignment? Like, and then when you do that, I feel like you will be given that wisdom, or you'll feel it. You'll know inside what's the right thing to do. And that will give you clarity around how to move forward. And that's what has helped me recently get the clarity. Because since I've been talking about all these different opportunities about what to create next and where to give my time and how I can best increase the income of my family, because that's a big goal for me, is to increase my income, keeping it real, so that I can have more financial freedom, so I can spend more time, quality time with my son. So as I'm looking at these opportunities, that's what I did to get my own clarity. Was I looked at my vision that I already had, because I had an idea of the direction I wanted to go, and I talked to God about it, and I sat with it, and I was like, how does this one feel? How does this one feel? How does this one feel? Like, evaluating each opportunity. Is this really something I want to do? Or is this something that someone else wants me to do? Like, I was sitting with it, and I could feel it. When I paid attention, I could feel it on my body, and I was like, this one raises my energy. This one gets me excited. This is something I actually care about. And then the other, and this, it's interesting as I'm saying this, I'm picturing some of my clients who've struggled with clarity over the years. And I had given them the opportunity to talk about each opportunity they were considering. And I would watch their body, and I would listen to the change in their voice, the tone. I would see the shift in energy. And whatever they were talking about that they had higher energy around, I'm like, that's it. That's it. And I'd also know them. So I would know like their strengths and their values. And I'd be like, sounds like it's a good fit. It's in alignment. And that's something that will help you too around clarity, is like checking in and seeing like, does this opportunity allow me to honor my greatest values? You might need some clarity around that. If you do need help with that, holla. But you need like check in and see like, is this in alignment with my values? If I did this thing, that just happened to me recently with one of my opportunities that I said no to. And I was so freaking proud of myself for doing this. It was tough because I went pretty far along in the process to like sign the contract and do the thing. And then I was like, no, like this, even though I feel flaky backing out right now, just something about this doesn't feel right to me. And it was because when I checked in with my values, I was like, this doesn't align with the lifestyle that I want to have, or the value of I want to be the mom that is present and around my son. And I also want to work on things that I really care about, that actually really, I believe, really make an impact in people's lives. And when I checked in, I was like, well, I don't feel like this work really does that. Like, it doesn't make a bigger impact in the way that I would like to, and I felt like it would take me away from my son versus giving me more opportunities to be with him. So, but I almost, like when I look back and I'm like, duh, but I almost took that opportunity. Like if I had not stopped and sat with it, I would have taken on that opportunity. And I believe, speaking of distractions, I believe that the work of the enemy is to come to kill, steal, and destroy. You're always a target, especially you listening right now, who does have a big heart, who does want to do amazing things in the world. You are a target. So keeping that in mind is like, I think one way that the enemy works, at least he does in my life, is he gives me a lot of distractions. He shows me other shiny objects that take me away from the things that God really wants me to do. And I feel that so much lately now. Like, I'm like, I see that. Dang. So, because I was talking to my husband about these different opportunities. And, sometimes my husband can be very logical. And he was just like, well, which one is the biggest income producing one for you? And I'm like, I don't want to think that way anymore. I was like, because I really believe if I focus more on the thing that I love more, that I really believe helps people the most, you're going to be prosperous for that, using your gifts like that. I really believe that. So I felt like, so I told him, I said, I actually feel like I've been given all these opportunities in a way like to distract me. I almost feel like it's sometimes you're like, yeah, abundance of opportunities. Thank you, God. But do we ever think about it as like distractions? Like maybe that's not even from God. Maybe these are distractions to take you off the path that he wants you to be on. So I was telling my husband, I'm like, so I want to sit with the energy of like, what does it feel like for each one, and not just think about it from a logical space, like, of like which one brings in the most income. Instead, I'm sitting there thinking about which one feels best. I remember when I went through coaching school, we talked about this. It was like this approach of when you evaluated a situation, if an opportunity was for you, you would sit there and you would think like, logically, does this make sense? Emotionally, does this make sense? Like in your heart and your intuition. There was like, it wasn't just one way of evaluating it. And I think about that. I'm like, yeah, I need to sit with like, because logically you might be like, this is the best use of your time financially, right? But then in my heart, that wouldn't be the best use of my time. And sometimes I'm doing that work with my clients where they'll tell me something and I can so tell, like just based on their energy, where they're very heady about a decision. They're like, well, this would make sense because it gives me the hours that I would want. And then, well, kind of, I can deal with it. I can adjust things. And this amount is more than I made before. And so they're very like, like in their head, they've like logically, like they've thought about this. But it's like there's no heart in it. I don't see the excitement. It's kind of like I'm trying to make this make sense in my mind and budget-wise or whatever, So I feel like that happens a lot when, again, you're in the head too much, not in the heart. So I will then ask the question, which opportunity feels the best to you? And another good question to ask is, this is what my husband asked after we were talking about this logical thing. He asked me this question. He said, okay, Ange, then what would you do? Which thing would you do if money wasn't a factor? Which one? And I was like, bam, easy answer right away. I was like, I'll do this thing. Like hands down. Like I love that thing. I would do that. So, and I told my husband, and my husband was like, well, why haven't you been focusing all your energy there then? And I said, keeping it real with you, I haven't been because of my scarcity mindset that's showing up. It's like, I see all these opportunities. I'm like, no, I need to do all the things. And that's the thing that also causes me to feel stressed and overwhelmed. It's like, no, you don't need to do all the things. You need to do the right things that are in alignment with your vision and who you want to be. But it's like this fear came up where it's like, but if I don't do these things, then I'll miss out on these opportunities. And that's, I feel like, the lie of the enemy again. Not only does he want to come kill, steal, and destroy anything that matters to you, he wants to distract you from the purpose that God has for you. And he also wants to put the fear in something. So this is also why I tell my clients, like, we don't make decisions from a fear-based place. No, we make it from a like abundance mindset when we're making a decision. And I always got to remind myself of that too. This is stuff that I constantly need to be reminded about because it's just, again, it's too easy to get off the path and to be doing something somebody else wants you to, or doing something because you think it makes sense given the money that comes in with it or the whatever, but it's like there's no heart in it. That's what I'm trying to say. So my point is that if you are struggling with clarity around the direction that you want to go, step one, talk to God about it. Ask for wisdom, ask for guidance, ask for the signs. They'll be given to you. Like, consult with the creator, have a conversation with the creator who does create all things, and anything is possible for you. And then also pay attention to your energy around the choices that you have. And if you're in a situation right now where you feel like, I don't know what I want to do, I just know like where I'm at right now is not where I want to be, cool, because that contrast gives you clarity. It's giving you wisdom around the direction that you do want to go, because this ain't it. I just got that recently. I went and I did some speaking events, and I got the clarity around the fact that I was like, I don't want to be gone like this. So then, well, what do I want? And I was like, well, I would still want to speak, but I want to speak at events that are easier for me to travel to. And it gave me that clarity. So just, again, contrast equals clarity. See right now if you can find the gift in that. Like, if you don't want this, what is it that you do want then? What feels better for you? So talking to God, paying attention to the signs, the way your energy feels around things, reminding yourself that contrast gives you clarity. That's going to help you with getting clear more on the direction that you want to go. Also, you need to know your values. You need to know your strengths. You need to know what you need those, because if opportunities present themselves to you, you're going to want to choose the ones that allow you to live in alignment with your values the most, and that allows you to use your gifts in a way that feels good to you. Let's back up. In a way that feels good to you. Because yesterday I had a coaching session. For me, I was working with a coach, and he said to me, Ange, like, you have so many things that you are good at that people go to you for guidance on. And I said, yeah, and like I struggle with that around where I want to go, because people are asking for my help on all these different things. Because sometimes people give you the advice like, well, go in the direction that people are already asking you help for, like, or asking your advice on, or like getting your help for the X thing, right? But for me, I got a lot of things people ask me for help on. So I said that I just struggle with that. So then when he was coaching me, he was paying attention to my energy when I talked about the different things. And then he was also asking me, what is it that you feel good about doing? Yeah, you might be good at that thing, but do you feel good doing it? And I was like, no, I don't. I am good at it, but I don't feel good doing it. Okay, that's a big sign. That's contrast. That's not for you. Because I believe that God has gifted you in a way that, like, he means for you, he's given you these gifts, and he means for you to feel good while you're using those gifts. And maybe you are good at many things, but there might be some particular things where it's like everything connects and you're really in alignment when you're doing that thing, because you're good at it and it feels good doing it. And you're proud of how you use your time when you are doing it. It's just something to think about. So, okay, be on the lookout for the way that the enemy is trying to distract you or kill, steal, and destroy your relationships. Watch out for that. Just a quick side note, still relative around how the enemy works, is like, I have seen that in a lot of things that are good things in my life that are coming to be. It's like there will be like this temptation to focus on the part that's wrong, the part that sucks, and to be able to throw things out and be like, oh, just throw everything out, like the baby out with the bathwater, because of one thing that sucks. It's like the enemy would want you to do that. And I've seen that in my career coaching clients over the years too. I've seen some come to me and saying, I don't want it to work in this field anymore at all. Like, I went to school forever to do this dang thing. I don't want to do it anymore. And it's like, then after we start doing the coaching process, it's like, well, wait a second here. You just don't like the fact that your schedule sucks and you're away from your family, but we can change that schedule. And then they may find a passion for the work that they're in. Like, it comes back, the energy raises, because it really wasn't the work itself. They were about ready to throw the baby out with the bathwater. It wasn't really that. It was the schedule. It was the lack of living out of alignment with the values. So sometimes you got to dig and see, like, well, what's really going on here when it comes to my dissatisfaction in where I'm at, or my lack of clarity. the thing I don't like about, I'm always seeking clarity, because the lack of clarity, when you live in a state of confusion, it's like it keeps you up at night. You're like always thinking about like, what should I be doing next? Should I do this or that? And it's like this confusion energy is a catabolic energy. It's very destructive to your body. It, like, you trap stress in your body. You just feel like crap. It's very distracting. It's hard to focus because you're generating too much of the catabolic energy because you're not clear. So I feel like sometimes the greatest gift I can give people as a coach is to help them get clear around where they want to go. And my coach did that to me yesterday. He helped give me clarity, and I was like, thank you. It was like deep sigh. I was like, you're right. I already know. This is the direction I want to go. And it feels so good, because then you can start to be really intentional with your energy. But again, watch out for Satan trying to come in, kill, steal, and destroy the good things in your life, distract you. Like, it's a real thing. It's like spiritual warfare. It's a real thing. Okay. All right. I hope this episode served you well. I'm just excited for what's coming up. And if you have any questions, if you've been liking this, if you felt like this was really helpful to you, feel free to message me. I just got a message from someone on Instagram, and I was just like, made my heart so happy that you told me like this matters. Because sometimes, y'all, you get so busy with life, like especially now that I'm a new mom, and I just want to know that it's worth my time to show up here, and to give these messages. Because sometimes I'm like, is this really like helpful? Everyone gets in their head like that. So I appreciate the kind messages. I would love if there's a topic that you want to dive into, or something you've been struggling with, I will be happy to create an episode for you on that topic and dive into that with you. All right. I hope you have a blessed and amazing day. I will talk to you soon. Bye.